Hey guys, so here we are again. I'm going to read from Horace the Mole and Friends. Here is the cover of the book, and as I shared before, and I'll share now, I wrote the book in 2003 in the hopes that parents would read it to their kids to foster decency, and here we go. So I'll just give you a tiny bit of backstory. So one of the characters, Dad Mole, has been fatally injured by Billy. Okay, so if you follow along with me, you'll know who these folks are. Dad Mole had made the fatal mistake of turning his back on Billy, the suspicious-looking stranger who did not belong in the Standard's backyard. That's where the moles live. And in an instant he was dead, killed by a fatal blow to the back of the head. Like a broken record, the haunting memory played over and over in Horace's head in slow motion. Dad Mole would fall, Billy would punch the air and scream, "How'd you like that? That's what you get playing with Big Billy." Horace was riddled with grief over the loss of his beloved dad. He was confused, constantly wondering why anyone would want to hurt his gentle and kind dad. Arguing with the voice in his head, Horace asked himself, why didn't Dad Mole run? The voice replied, maybe Dad Mole assumed that all humans were harmless like Miss Standard. Why didn't I yell run when I woke from napping and found a stranger stalking Dad Mole? Horace tormented himself. You probably didn't want to interfere in grown-up business, the voice asserted. Maybe this, maybe that. What if this? What if that? Horace groaned, his head swimming in a sea of questions. When suddenly, Ma Mole's comforting voice surfaced from his memory. Dad Mole would be heartbroken to see you so distraught. He loved us dearly and wanted us to be happy, not sad. I know, Horace declared, stamping a paw on the ground, recalling the countless times Ma Mole had tried to comfort him, counseling, young moles cannot blame themselves for their parents' irresponsibility. Dad Mole would be with us today if he had practiced what he preached and stayed away from strangers. Honey, you didn't yell to alert your dad to the stranger's presence because you trusted your dad's judgment. Being too young to understand that there was nothing he could have done to prevent Dad Mole's death, Horace blamed himself for his father's death, crying over and over until he felt sick to his stomach. If only I hadn't fallen asleep. Horace felt his insides turn cold and gray. Clasping his paws together in front of his chest, he prayed, "O Lord Mole, my grand God in heaven, Lord of all moles, please give me the strength and forgive me for being angry with Robbie Rat and Susie Squirrel." Tears fell from his eyes. I overheard them talking, saying, "It's been 2 years, he should be over it." I know they were talking about me because Dad Mole died 2 years ago. They think I should be fine and no longer sad, that I should be over my father's death. But what do they know, Lord Mole? They haven't lost their father. It sure is easy for others to imagine what losing a loved one is like when the loss is not their own. Horace's head started to twitch, his keen sense of hearing alerting him to a distant but rapidly approaching noise, a noise he couldn't put a face on. Instinctively, he dropped to the ground on all fours and scratched the ground to guarantee traction. A grin washed over his face. I wish I could show you this picture. It's so dark, I really doubt you can see it. For sure, neither cat nor human can catch me. Mighty fast mole I am, he chuckled. Plop, plop, plop. The nearby pricker bushes suddenly shivered, shedding pea-sized red berries. Whew, it's only the wind, Horace peeped, feeling the wind stir his fur. For a few heart-pounding seconds, Horace had the terrifying notion that Mitty the cat was going to burst forth from the bushes and gobble him up. There's that noise again, Horace told himself, straining to hear what he now swore was a voice riding on the wind. Or is it coming out of a seashell? He asked himself, creating a mental picture of his old den by the beach. In his mind, he saw Dad Mole, his head inside of a seashell, shouting, "You can hear the ocean." Unconsciously, Horace said, "I can hear it, Dad," and the spirit of Dad Mole responded, "I know you can, son." "I miss you, Dad," Horace cried, wiping the tears from his pin-sized blue eyes with the back of his paw. "I know you do, Horace. I miss you too," soothed Dad Mole's spirit. But I, Horace blurted, frowning, feeling like a failure with his inability to express himself, his wafer-like thin lips flapping faster than his mind could form complete thoughts. "Don't be so hard on yourself, son," Dad Mole's spirit said. "The way things turned out aren't your fault. I set a bad example for you, which was my reckless handling of that boy Billy. And for that, son, I am deeply sorry. You're a great son, and I am immensely proud of you." Well, guys, that's it for now, and I will get back to you tomorrow. I hope you like it, what I am reading, and I apologize for the typos, we'll call it, or my rather stumbling.